name is Kris Kaylin. Super excited to be here for the 2021 Virtual Black Expo. And this session that we're about to hop into is all about building your brand. And I don't know who's more appropriate to do this session than Sergio Hudson. And if you don't know who this is, an amazing designer from South Carolina, designing for your favorite people from J-Lo, Janelle Monáe, Kendall Jenner, Khloe Kardashian, Serena Williams, former First Lady Michelle Obama, Vice President Kamala Harris, and the list goes on. So without further ado, I would love to get started and introduce Sergio Hudson. Thank you for being here with me.
Thank you for having me.
It is definitely an honor. Like I said, once again, to everyone who is coming in the room, this session is all about building your brand. So let's get it rolling. What inspired you to become a designer?
Oh, wow. That's a loaded question. We could talk all day about that. But what inspired me to become a designer was just growing up in a fashion obsessed household, really. My mom was always into fashion. There was always Vogue magazine, Essence, Jet, and the fashion was always part of our language in our household. Like, it's how me and my mom always communicated. She would put on productions every Sunday to go to church. It was an event. And it's just how I lived my life at a very early age. So when my sister began modeling, and my mom actually made clothes as well, it just kind of like became this rolling thing that Sergio was going to be a designer.
Right. And I can definitely say when I see your clothing, it gives me structure, it gives me bold colors. And my next question was, did growing up in the South in the church culture, did it have anything to do with your design aesthetic?
It definitely did. I think when you go to church, well, at least I know when I used to go to church when I was young, it was always, oh, did you see what Sister So-and-so had on today? Or did you see what so-and-so had on? And then my mom became a minister when I was like an early teen. Mm-hmm. And that just kicked her into another level of, okay, I have to look good every Sunday morning. Right. So it was like, I know that sounds odd to say, but it was just natural for her. It's how she gets her joy. Right. So it was, you train your kids what to like and how to like things, and that's just kind of how that happened. But it definitely affects the way I design, because I feel like every piece I design is made to, when you walk in the room, for heads to turn, but not necessarily for heads to turn, but for heads to turn because of you, mm-hmm. not just because of what you have on. So I think not trying to toot my own horn, but I think my clothing, it goes onto a woman and it makes the woman the best woman she can be, as opposed to just looking like she's wearing a costume.
Absolutely. And going back to building your brand, there's a quote when you said it's not about what you're wearing or who has on certain things, but you have to have the right people in your clothes. When it comes to building your brand, you would want the right people to be seen wearing your items. I feel like the design, that's 50% of it, but having the right person spotted in it is also another part of it. So how do you go about working with certain clients and working with certain celebrities and getting them in Sergio Hudson apparel?
Well, see, the thing about it is, it's no formula to get to the level that I've gotten to as far as dressing celebrities. But I will tell you how I did it. I came to LA and I was offering something that other people weren't offering, which was ready to wear clothing. Here in LA, it's a lot of costume designers. It's a lot of, what you wear on stage, things of that nature. It wasn't a lot of designers here that were making suits and making cocktail dresses and making things that you can actually wear. So me being here in LA and being the only person that was doing that gave me an advantage. And once I got in the door and I began to build the relationship with the stylist, then they began to root for me and want me to succeed because they saw the passion that I had to be the designer that I wanted to be. So you have to make your intentions known to people that can help you. And I've never been shy to say to a stylist, look, I'm trying to do this. Can you help me? And I mean, that's how I got clothes on Michelle Obama. Meredith Coop, her stylist, started following me on Instagram, and I DM'd her and I said, I would really love to dress Mrs. Obama. I feel like it's the next step for me. And she was like, okay, let's do it. So closed mouths don't get fed.
Exactly. And that leads into my next question. But before I go into my next question, thank you to everyone who is here. Make sure you are asking questions in the chat because this is very interactive. We want to know your questions if you have them. So definitely put your questions in the chat. But moving on to my next question. So when the inauguration happened, everyone mouths were dropped. I know mine was included when I first saw former First Lady Michelle Obama just looking amazing. Then when Kamala Harris came out, Vice President Kamala Harris, from everything. And once we realized that the same person did the look, and I was like, well, who is this? And then I did more research and I was like, wait, from South Carolina. And it was so many emotions. And I feel like so many people probably just hit you up and DM'd you. So how did your life change after the inauguration?
Well, the crazy thing was, it was almost immediate. Like when she walked out, I was flying from DC because we dressed Vice President Harris for the night event for the TV special, and I had to make her another coat at the last minute. So I was in DC delivering that coat. So when I was leaving DC to fly to Atlanta to shoot my spring ad campaign, so I was on the plane. And when I touched down, Meredith texted me, that's Michelle Obama stylist again, and said, she's wearing your outfit, be on the lookout. And so when I walked into the airport, into the lounge, she was walking down the stairs at that time. Awesome. And I heard everyone in the room like audibly gasp. They were like, oh my God, like she looks so good. Like these were the words that were coming out of even like older white men's mouths. Like it was very weird and eerie. And it's like at that moment, I felt a shift. And I knew things were not going to be the same. Like I had dressed so many celebrities before, but when I saw her, I said, this is different. This is about to be something different. And the response was almost immediate. Like my website blew up. At that time, I was still getting like notifications to my phone when I got an order on my site. Because, it wasn't like a lot of traffic or whatever, but it was like email, new order. And I had to delete the email from my phone because I couldn't contain the emails and then the messages coming and the people calling. It was just like crazy. So it was definitely an immediate change. Like from that moment on January 20th to now, my life is completely different.
And I know that is amazing. And like you said, it's having the right person wear your items. And going back to building your brand. So when I went to your Instagram, I noticed your first picture was the picture of Vice President Kamala Harris. So did you just recently start your Instagram or did you delete your previous post? Or how did you go about that?
Yes, I have had Instagram for years. So my PR said we have to start new. So I deleted my entire Instagram. And the first post was Vice President Harris, because we really wanted to, even though, to be completely honest, the moment that day was Michelle Obama. Everybody knows it. It was the moment that she walked out. The fashion moment of the day was Michelle Obama. It was evident that, everybody was happy about Vice President Harris being the first Black and female vice president, but everybody was talking about Michelle Obama. So we wanted to take a beat and just say, okay, let's celebrate what we have here in Vice President Harris for a little while. So I didn't post anything about Michelle Obama for the entire first day. Right. It was all about Vice President Harris because I felt like it was her day. And then we kind of started, because it was like a rebranding, because it was a brand new day. So we cleaned the Instagram and started a new yes.
And once again, to not the panelists, to the audience, make sure you're asking questions, because at the end of this interview,
should I be reading these questions, or are you gonna do it at the end?
Yeah, well, because they're just complimenting you and saying how amazing you are and how Michelle Obama slayed. But if they have any questions, make sure you are asking them, because at the end of this interview, Sergio will be giving a $1,500 away worth of wardrobe. And I am going to be very jealous about the person who's getting that. I'm just letting you know now. But once again, make sure you are asking questions and sharing this, letting people know that they need to be in this breakout session. But going back to building your brand. So you said your publicist said, hey, we're going to start fresh. We're going to start new. How important was your publicist in just helping you refresh everything? Because a lot of times everyone thinks they can do it on their own. And realistically, we can't, because you want to focus on designing. You don't want to have to focus on your social media and all these other things. So how important is it to have a strong team?
Well, the crazy thing is, Sergio it's almost like, at this point, it's a train that's moving, but you have to understand that no train can move by itself. Not one person can make a train move. So there are so many people that have come along beside me to help me, that believe in my vision for what I'm trying to do. And my PR is one of them. His name is Nate Hinton. He is out of New York. And to be honest with you, the reason that everybody knew that Michelle Obama was wearing Sergio Hudson that day was because of him, because he had the press release ready. As soon as she stepped out of that car to walk into that building, he sent out emails to every major press in the world. And that's how everybody connected and everybody knew, and all the news outlets had. So that PR is a key, I feel personally, especially for fashion, is the key to branding yourself. Like, he made sure that people connected it back to me. To be honest with you, from the time I stepped foot off of the plane in Atlanta that day, I went to my hotel, my Airbnb that I was staying in that week, and I did not leave for a full 24 hours because of interviews. Like, I did interviews from the time I stepped foot into that apartment until 24 hours later. It was crazy. It's interviews that I'm still backlogged for from that time.
That is amazing. Like,
so PR is key for sure.
And to any PR agents that are tuning in, I think the key is you always want to be 2 steps ahead of your client, because when things like that happen, you just want it to be able to happen. And I will be I have a question in the chat, and this comes from Ruma Zenmeyer. And the question is, what has surprised you most about your journey, and what does rebuilding your brand look like?
What has surprised me most about my journey, and what was the second part of the question?
And what does rebuilding your brand look like?
I think what has surprised me most is, I guess I was young when I started, so I just assumed I'm fabulous, I'm amazing, I have talent. All I have to do is show it to the right people, and my career is booming. And that's just not the case. You have to be connected. You have to know the right people. It's so many components of building a brand that don't have anything to do with your actual talent or what your business is about. My story is, I am an American sportswear designer from South Carolina that is trying to reach the masses. So that is my brand. So Sergio, I am the brand, because it's not, what I'm selling is not a product, I'm selling a lifestyle. So when you see Michelle Obama in a complete Sergio Hudson look, it's, of course, everybody picked out the belt and said, oh, that's amazing. But you don't just pick out one look. You think about how she looked that day, and you say, Sergio Hudson, I want to look like that. What kind of Sergio Hudson piece can I get? What kind of Sergio Hudson piece can I afford that I can feel that lifestyle that Michelle Obama was saying that day? So that's the key to building, especially a fashion brand or any brand that's in the luxury arena. You have to convey a feeling, and you have to convey a moment. And the moment is, Michelle Obama walking out in that complete look.
And earlier you discussed, connecting with Michelle Obama's stylist, but also when I was creeping on your Instagram again, in one of your comments, I noticed that you connected with Beyonce's stylist, and that's when she was photographed in that white suit that was embezzled. It was just amazing. First of all, I stalk Beyonce, okay? So there's no shame here. So when I saw that, I gagged. And at that time, I had no clue that you were the designer behind that until I circled back. So like, because I have another question, pretty much saying, as far as connecting and surrounding yourself with the right people, I feel like that kind of goes hand in hand. So can you just expand more on that and how that happened?
Well, it was, to be honest with you, it's years of cultivating a relationship. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's cultivating relationships with people. And that's what I did. Me and Zarina, who's Beyonce's stylist, were connected. She actually used to be just Beyonce's personal stylist. So like when Beyonce, just needed clothes to go on vacation, or she wanted clothes to go out to dinner, that was Zarina's job. And then she got promoted to lead stylist. By that time, we had already had a relationship. So she was like, okay, I'm coming to you now because you supported me then. And now I'm on the main stage. So I'm going to put you on. And she actually, my fall 17 collection, Zarina came to me and bought the entire collection for Beyonce. So, and Beyonce wore the collection like out to dinner. I mean, even that night when she wore that crystal suit, she was going to Michael B. Jordan's birthday dinner. That was pretty much the reason she had the outfit on. It was not the Grammys or an event or anything. She just literally lived her life. And my clothes were just so much more rewarding to me. Zarina told me when she walked in the house with the suit, Beyonce was like, what is that? And she told her, and she put it on and she wore it that night. Like, so it's just, you have to put yourself in the right place. And then, but the key, you can get in the right place, because a lot of people have gotten in the right place. But the key is when you're in that place, to show out and to show your talent and to be the best that you can be. And that's what I have prided myself on, that when I get these opportunities, when these celebrities see my clothing, they say, wow, these are amazing and I have to wear them. Because even, let's not even at like, even with Michelle Obama, she didn't have a backup option because she did. Right. It's just my option was better.
Exactly. And that's the thing, a lot of times when people tell you, be humble, and you should absolutely be humble. But like you said, when you get that spotlight, you better show out, throw diamonds, glitter, sparklers, all that and everything more, because you have to roll out and show. So going back to the chat, because we have some really good questions here. Kinsley Stummy, she said, do you remember designing 13 ladies in waiting outfits for the 2007 Poinsettia Collision in Columbia? Our contact person was Angela Franks. Blouse and skirt with a belt wrap. Thank you. It was the most unique outfit ever.
I do remember that.
You remember every look. So shout out to Kinsey tuning in. And what's the next one? From Brenda Green. She said, what is your thought process when you are designing a look for someone? Do you think of feeling, energy, or a statement you want the outfit to emit?
I think I take into consideration who the person is. I'm not one of these people that, feel like everybody needs a makeover. That's really irritating to me. Like when you see these people, they get people and they like put a whole new head of hair on their head and put a whole new face on their face and turn them into somebody that they're really not. I feel like elevating someone who they already are is the best way to go. So whenever I work personally with a client, I look at them, I see what they like, who they like, who they dream to be. And that's where we work from. And then obviously when you're working with me, I'm just the type of person that if I can't get some type of feeling or, joy out of it, what's the point? So if we have to see if our aesthetics match, if you like what I like.
And speaking on aesthetics and things like that, what are some fashion things what are trends that you currently love right now? Or what are certain trends that you just wish would die?
We could talk about that all day, but I think trends that I love is people going back to classic silhouettes. I feel like a classic silhouette never dies, like a great pencil skirt, a great pair of trousers, a great blazer, turtleneck, classic pieces that you will probably always see in my collection. But I love the return to classics. Things that I wish that would die would be people just buying stuff because it's a name brand. I'm really tired of seeing people in ugly clothes that are designer.
I think we can all agree with that. All right, going back to some question and answers. Your PR, did you always have PR, or since your life changed, is that when you decided to get a PR agent?
You know what's crazy? I was really lucky because when I first started out, I had a PR showroom that I partnered with, and a PR showroom is like for a fashion designer, almost like an agent. Mm-hmm. So you send your clothes to them, they hang it in the showroom, and the celebrity stylists come in and they borrow the clothes to put on the celebrities. So that's how I got my first placements, was being in this PR showroom here in LA. And then when I left that PR showroom, that's when I signed on to the Hinton Group, which is a PR like agency. They kind of operate like a showroom, but they do more. But yes, it's an investment, but it's an investment you should make in yourself for sure, because it will change the trajectory of your business for sure.
And I would definitely say with any business, you have to invest in yourself, whether that be hiring someone, doing anything for social media, promotion, marketing. You have to invest in yourself. I wish it could be free, but it's not. All right, going back to another question from Lisa Cooper. Where should I look to change my fashion look? And how often should someone update their look? I think that's a really good question as far as turning that closet over.
I think, so this is the thing. There are a lot of people that need to revamp their closets. Let's just be honest. But the reason you need to revamp your closet is because you buy cheap clothes and you buy trendy clothes. Those are the two biggest mistakes that people make. I believe you should invest in good pieces that are classics. And then you will never have to redo your wardrobe. I mean, if you walk in any vintage store, you can see a Chanel suit from 1965 and it would still be thousands of dollars and you can still wear it. But you're not from 1965. You don't know what was in Dress Barn. No, because it's probably some polka dot piece that nobody will ever wear again. But I feel like people have, and I feel like this microwave throwaway fashion trend, like Forever 21. Companies like that who make like these clothes that are just so cheap that they're not meant for you to keep forever, but people buy them like they're meant to keep forever, and then they get mad when they can't wear them in 2 years. It is what it is. So if you want to have a wardrobe that's going to last, invest in key pieces and filter in the cheap pieces. I'm not saying, go out and buy all designer clothes, but invest, as where your budget is. If you can invest in a $200-300 skirt, do that. If you can invest in an $800 skirt, do that. But I promise you that those skirts will last you forever. And that skirt that you bought from Forever 21 for $10 will not last you more than a year or two. So you have to think about the long-term investment when it comes to clothing. We have to change our mindset about clothes, because if anybody who knows or loves fashion, like I can go in my mom's closet and there are Michael Kors collection dresses from before, when he started doing the Michael Kors, when he would do like dresses that cost between $1,200 and $1,800. And my mom, that was like one of her favorite designers. She still has those dresses hanging in her closet and they still look amazing. So if my mom passes on tomorrow, those dresses can go to one of my nieces, or, it's a different mindset you have to have when it comes to clothing. So that's saying, telling you a long story to tell you, invest in good pieces, invest in a good black pencil skirt. I believe in a wardrobe of black. So in your wardrobe of black should be the most expensive pieces in your closet. So a good pair of black trousers, a good black pencil skirt, a good black blazer, a good quality black turtleneck sweater, those pieces, a great black dress, those pieces can translate from year to year to year and from day to night, from church to work to a cocktail party. And you can really work, like you can have like 10 pieces rotating in your closet and be the best dressed woman in your town.
Hello. Absolutely. So I think we have time for 2 more questions because we have to announce the winner of that $1,500. I know everyone in the chat is going off and wanting to know who's going to get it. And I don't want to be the person that has to announce it, but I will. But I just want you guys to know, don't blame me, okay? All right, let's find another question. This one is coming from Roberta Williams. I'm sure you had a vision, but who actually influenced and supported your vision?
Wow. I think it's kind of like a relay race, if you think about it. Like my parents, of course, were the first people to support me. And I can't say that everybody has the support from their parents, especially wanting to go into an industry like this where it's like the lottery almost. Mm-hmm. Not everybody makes it. And I have, so many notches against me. I'm from the South. I'm a black man. It's just unheard of for us to be successful in this industry. You can count on your hands the number of black men that are successful in fashion. So, everybody doesn't have that. So my parents were my first big support. And then I feel like my parents passed the baton to my mentor in college. My mentor in college passed the baton on to my business partner here in LA that took me on. So, it's like you go through cycles, but it's always somebody there to support. And all of these people, like my first celebrity client was Lisa Wu from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And without working with her, I would have no idea how to, make a moment when it comes to fashion without making it look like I'm trying to make it all about me. Because she had such a light that I had to design clothes that accentuated her light and didn't overshadow her light. So it's a lot. It was a lot of people.
Everyone, it's a village. Everyone was able to feed into you, and
even like you think about like Karen Alexander in Colombia. I learned so much from her from the Auntie Karen Foundation. Learned so much from her. She's the most sweet, gentle person ever. But she gave me so many nuggets of how to deal with people or how to believe in what you're doing. Just watching how she ran that foundation was so inspiring to me.
And if it's the same Karen Alexander, she's in this chat. So
she is.
Yes, she said she really wants to win this $1,500, but now since I know you know him, I don't know, Karen. I might knock you out the competition, girl.
Don't do her like that.
Okay, and I have the last question of the night, and to people in the chat. Listen, I need to know why you really need to win this $1,500 wardrobe. Let me know. I'm going to pick the best response. But I'm going to the last question to LaKersha. She said, are there certain colors that a person who is a particular size should avoid? I'm tall and skinny, and I would love to look like I have more weight on me.
I feel like okay, so that's a double question. To answer the question, no. I don't believe that there are colors that bigger people should stay away from or smaller people should stay away from. I believe it's all in the cut. Working with women on a daily basis, women, especially women that are like celebrities, they never want to wear white because they feel like white is going to make them look big. But it's just not true. It's all about cut and quality. Now you shouldn't wear, I will say this, if you want to wear something cheap that looks expensive, buy it in black. That's if you don't have a lot of money. If you don't have a lot of money and you need to look good, buy it in black. That would be the biggest advice I would give. So don't buy cheap white clothes. But It's all about quality and the way stuff is cut. And the second part of that question, to make someone who's smaller look a little thicker, try to wear, I know this sounds crazy, but try to wear more fitted silhouettes. The closer the fit to the body, the more you can see the shape of the body. And when you wear bigger clothes when you're skinny, it makes you look bigger. It's kind of a rule of thumb. And the same rule of thumb goes for when you're bigger. Don't just put on a bunch of clothes just to try to cover up being big. Like, get your clothing fitted well to your body. Fitting clothes well to your body is the key to making you look how you want to look. So if you go buy, I don't care if you go buy a $10 dress from wherever, take it to the cleaners. They have tailors there. Make sure, nip the waist in, fix the hem, make the skirt a little bit tighter, a little more fitted. Don't let things just sit how they are when you buy them off the rack. That's the key to making clothes look well.
All right, so if you can see these responses in here, I feel like I should have to choose. So if you would like to open the chat to see which response you like the best, these are rolling in. Who will win the 1,500? Am I choosing? Okay, these are rolling in. Let's give it a second.
I think you should choose, because if I might see somebody that I know in there, and that's not going to be fair.
Okay, let's see. They're rolling in, so I'm just going to. Okay, let's see. Okay, listen, I want you guys to still love me, but you know, sometimes there can only be one winner. And that person, I'm going to read it out to you. And okay. And here wait, I lost it. Would love to win. I'm a recent mom, gained weight during pregnancy, and I've lost a lot in the last 4 months. I'm in a new role and I can rise to the occasion, but I would love a new wardrobe to help create the whole statement and build my brand to continue growing in the workspace. So, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Rama Dunmeyer, congratulations. You are the winner of the $1,500 wardrobe. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Before you leave this chat, make sure you connect with Jocelyn Johnson. You can inbox her privately so you can set that up and claim your prize. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. I really enjoyed this. Thank you so much, Sergio, for taking the time to speak with me and just to be a part of the 2021 Virtual Black Expo. There are a ton of sessions happening. Actually, I will be on the main stage at 2:30 with Master P. So meet me back here. But once again, thank you. I enjoyed this. And I can't wait to see what else you have in store. I don't know what else you got. You're breaking glass ceilings. I'm happy you're from South Carolina, so I can say you my cousin in my head, and I'm gonna just roll with that.
Well, be on the lookout, because we have a lot of amazing things coming, and you will be able to get Sergio Hudson in several different outlets coming in September. So
very excited about that. Thank you so much and have a great day. And to everyone else, make sure you stay in tune with the Black Expo. It's the 2021 Virtual Black Expo.